All right, we're here with head coach Zach Zedrick for our weekly press conference. Coach, first off, ninth place finish at the Robert Kepler Intercollegiate. Your thoughts on that tournament?
Definitely a lot of good. If you look at under par scoring, Illinois finished second. I think they were 6 over par. If you add up all the birdies in the eagle we made, that's 7 shots difference between us and Illinois. Now, and if you look at it too, like Kent State, we were actually the same total shots under par as Kent State. So we're doing a lot of things really well. You can't, even if the conditions were really good, golf course was in good shape. There wasn't a ton of wind. It was pretty mild for the most part. You can't fake your way into 32 birdies and an eagle in 3 rounds. So that's great. I think the big thing for us, there were just some mistakes that we made that you can't make. Sometimes just hitting it, there's holes where there's one place you can't hit it, and there were just a few too many times where we did that. But in my mind, like the things that we need to get better at this week, everyone knows exactly what they are. It's very straightforward. I think everyone feels, like I said after Purdue, a high sense of confidence, even higher now than a week ago. And, I just actually finished up meeting with everyone that's traveling this week individually, and everyone's in a really good place. So we're not happy with a 9th place finish, but there's some real low-hanging fruit out there as far as here's some shots that we can save individually that are going to add up to, as a team, us saving a lot of shots. So everyone's pretty excited, pretty encouraged, and, already back at it, getting ready for this weekend.
All right. MAC Championships coming up this week. Before we get into the specific tournament, does any preparation change, or do you just treat this like another tournament?
Well, I mean, we're leaving Wednesday, so really, like, there's not a ton to do from a preparation standpoint. In my mind, your preparation is really kind of where you're at as a player. It's really kind of the sum of the last 6 months of practice and competing that you've done as a player. So I feel like we're in a great spot there. As far as anything like really different or special you would do, not really. I mean, for us, if anything, it's really trying to frame that week in the right way. But we're practicing today, we're practicing tomorrow. I mean, guys are practicing on their own today. It's an off day, but you kind of like, you're either ready or you're not. We feel very ready. It's really, at this point, there's some individual things that guys need to kind of tweak and correct a little bit, but it's pretty minor, and that's what we'll do before we leave.
Will you be using the same lineup that you've been using the last few weeks?
Yep, same lineup.
Okay. All right, so the MAC Championship this year is hosted by Ball States in Fort Wayne, Indiana at the Sycamore Hills Golf Club. What can you tell us about that course?
It's Jack Nicklaus design, and he did the renovation at Ohio State a little over 10 years ago. We've seen a handful of Nicklaus courses this season, so we're very familiar with kind of his design aesthetic and how he builds golf courses. So we played it in the fall. It's a really, really good golf course, but you have to be very strategic around there. Last week, even at Purdue, it's a lot of holes where you're hitting it as far as you can in the fairway. You're staying on the strong side of the hole, and you just see how many putts you can make. At this golf course, you've got to be very strategic, very tactical. You need to have a very good plan. It's not necessarily just bombs away and we'll go find it and hit it again. Excuse me. You just need to be very strategic about what you're doing around that place. But the guys all loved it when we played there in the fall, and I know they're fired up to get going again this weekend.
All right, final question. This is a 4-round tournament, the first time you're playing this season. So what will it take to win the MAC Championship?
This is actually a big kind of point I've been making, big thing we've talked about really since Saturday night. And it's, at the end of the day, frankly, it's not that we won't be satisfied if we come away and we don't win. But, for me, like, regardless of what we shoot this week, like, I'm going to look back and there are a boatload of positives from this season. Our ranking is going to be the highest that it's been in program history in the last probably 15 or 16 years. We've won 2 times. We've finished second 3 times. We've had 5 individual wins. We've had 2 different players win individually. A lot of things that have not happened in this program in a really, really long time. And just the work ethic and the mentality of everyone has really transformed this season. And we are viewing ourselves differently, and others are viewing us differently as a program. So for me to say that we need to win this weekend to validate all of that, I don't need that. And that's really what I've relayed to our players is like, for me, like there's a lot Sunday night I'm going to be able to look back on and be really proud of and happy about. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to work to continue to get better, because ultimately we're playing for the last trophy that they hand out every year. And there's still a lot more work to be done to get all the way there. And, you know, we have a great opportunity to continue our season even after this weekend. That opportunity is still very much in front of us. But the thing I've really been focused on with our guys is you know, the last month I think at times we've been a little uptight. You know, we haven't Miami has not been in a position to advance to the postseason without an automatic bid, like I said, in 15, 16 years. And this is the first season we've been able to do that in a long time. And I think with that opportunity, guys maybe have not been quite as loose or quite as free as they had been in the fall, but we're a much better team right now than we were in the fall. And, you know, my one challenge this week to the guys is to, like, you know, let's go and really carry ourselves like, you know, that kind of team, like a team that feels like they're the best team in the country, and a team that feels like they can compete with anyone, and a team that, you know, even though there's going to be nerves and there's going to be, you know, even moments where you feel a little scared, like we're going to hit every shot, every putt fearlessly. And if we do that, like, I'm going to be able to live with whatever happens this weekend. But I think if we can go and we get a good plan and we just go play fearless golf for 4 rounds, you know, it doesn't take anything special from these 5 guys. It just takes good, solid golf. And it's really just believing that good, solid golf is way more than good enough. And I know these guys, they're already really excited about that, and they're really embracing that mentality, and they're excited to get going when we leave town on Wednesday.
Great. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.